Hello everyone, Kevin Vapors here for another episode. Today I'm going to be clearing some things up. I'm going to be going over some things from the last video that were wrong and flawed, and basically be talking about Ohm's law, battery safeties, volts, watts, amps, ohms, resistance, all that stuff. So come join me. We're going to rebattle these two because it was unfair competition in the last video and see which one actually performs better with the rebuildable atomizer on top. So come join me. I'd like to start out by going over a quick comment by GR. GR, thank you for commenting and let me know that my test had problems. Now he goes to say, given the parameters you mentioned, a 1 ohm coil vaping at 5 volts, your test is flawed. Using the Ohm's law, you are vaping at 25 watts. Neither of the mods will push 25 watts. And the VTR only pushes up to 15, and the MVP only pushes up to 11. So he is correct about everything that he said, and due to that, I am fixing everything that I'm saying in yesterday's video and putting it all in this. I recorrected that video in the spots where I was wrong and stuff, so today, I hope you're watching. We're going to go over a whole bunch of different battery power, stuff like that, show you some charts. So let's go and do it. Now you might be asking yourself, what is Ohm's law? Now Ohm's law is very simple. And they have a big old fancy definition here, but I'll give it to you simplified. And what they say here, the current passing through a conductor increases if you increase the voltage. So the more power going to it if you increase the voltage, potential energy. And what you'll want to do here, if you want to apply it to your, let's say, e-cigarettes here, and if you have a variable voltage, variable wattage device, you'll come on here to my good old favorite Ohm's law calculator. Now there's 4 spaces in there for your voltage, current, which is your amps, resistance, your ohms resistance of your coil, and power, which is your watts. And let's say you know 2 of them. And say your resistance on your atomizer here is 2.0 ohm coil. So we'll put 2 in there. And your power, you want to set it at 8 watts. So we'll put that in there, 8. And then we'll go over here. Put it on. You see it there? And hit calculate. Now what it really does is, as you can see the equation up there at the top, voltage equals current times resistance, or power equals voltage times current. Now it's a very simple mathematical equation, but it really does help for if you know the, let's say, the resistance and what you want to vape at, and if it's safe to vape at. Now the MVP version 2 here can only go up to 3 amps you could push it at, so if you want to be safe and say you want to put in your amp as being 2.5, you don't want to go too high, but you want to vape it hot, then you could do that. Just stay within your parameters. Now this is all about voltage, wattage, current, ohms, resistance, like that. So we're going to get down to the battle now. One quick thing before we get to the battle, I like to have a vaping power chart here. So right here is all the resistance and ohms that you could be having in your coils. Up here's your volts, and it tells you all in this chart what watts to set it at. The green's ideal, red's too hot, and then down here's too cool. So I have this all on my forum, which is www.thevapecommunity.freeforums.net, and I will have a link below in the description box, so you can check all that out. I have a new thread for all power safety, volts, watts, ohms, all that battery safety goodness. So let's get down to the competition. So to make it fair today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting both of these here at a 1.1 ohm coil, and I'll set it here down at 9. I found that to be ideal here for this test, since both can push 9 watts. It's not stretching it with any type of amps with the MVP or the VTR, so this should be ideal for the even balanced test between the MVP version 2 and the VTR. So let's give her a vape. Decent. Pretty good. Not the best vapor quality. I like to pump it a little hotter, and I like to vape on volts. I like to fine tune it. I'm not much of one that vapes on watts personally per se, but let's get to the MVP version 2. Now I have to take my iClear 30B off. And I'm going to show you the resistance and what it's set at on this one, just so you know. Twist her on the top. Check her out here. Oh, does this ever happen to you with your MVP version 2? Just a quick side note, a non. So what it means basically is my center pin down there needs to be fluffed up. So I'll be back in a sec. We're back and ready to vape. 1 ohm coils reading on this one. It read 1.1. Now it fluctuates. And we will be setting this at 9 watts, that's the other one. Now let's see how the vapor quality is. This one seems to be pumping the vapor more. Dang, let's give it another vape. So if you're an MVP owner, definitely go get yourself a cheap little rebuildable if you want to get into the rebuildable game. When I first got in, I didn't want to get something that was one of those $50, $100 rebuildables. Then I don't know what to do with it. If I break it, then I just threw $50 to $100 out the window. $15. I go W, $15, and you can build dual coils on there also. You see that? And it vapes nice. You know, it's not the best rebuildable, obviously, but for the price, I rave about it. I think it's a great rebuildable. Now, back to the competition here. What do I say wins? In a different amount of categories, I would say the MVP version 2 wins when you're talking about price. I really like the MVP version 2. I think it's a great intermediate vapors kit. Even the beginners, if you're bumping up from an Ego C-Twist or just a regular CE4 kit, something like that. I really like the MVP. This has always made me happy because of the battery life. You can charge things on it. It fits nice in the hand. It's portable. Where this might be a little heavier, a lot less portable. If you're putting it in your jean pocket, it's weighing you down on one side. So I really do like the MVP version 2. And with the rebuildable on it, it vapes very nice if you set it according to what you're supposed to be setting at and not pushing your batteries too far like I did stupidly last night. So I got to give it to the MVP version 2 for the price. But overall, you know, for vaping machine, I got to give it to the VTR. You know, I'm satisfied with both the Innokin products. Ever since I got them, they've made me happy. They vape to what I want them to vape at, so let's give it another vape. Yeah. So I go W. I'll put a link below for where you can get it. The MVP version 2, I'll also put a link where you can get this. I'll put a link for the VTR, and also, please go check out the forum. I put a whole bunch of new information about battery power, ohms resistance, and even more interesting topics about intermediate vapors, beginning, advanced, things coming up with my channel, giveaway news, so go on the forum on there. It's really exciting, I think. I enjoy talking to you guys, so give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment below. I'm going down to DC Vape Fest. As always, I'm excited. I'll be looking forward to seeing a couple of you guys there if you're going to be there. And give me a subscribe if you're liking what you're seeing. And if anything, vape on, everyone.